All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Friday, January the 21st, 2022. We are live here on the Daily Crow taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I see Jeff, Justin, Brennan M., Lindsay Hagler, John Kruger, Chris Cox, Brian Lattimore. Justin, appreciate you all tuning in. Also, guys, you're in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure that your questions are answered there. Again, as you see behind me on the whiteboard, to hell with Georgia. It's always fun to hate Georgia. It's always fun to hate Georgia. That's exactly what we're doing today here on the Daily Crow. Again, I'm Chris Phillips, your host, as always. And I do want to hear from you on this snow day, which I told you guys I was skeptical. Maybe this afternoon, maybe later today. I know my guy Mitch is punching air right now. And I know Phil probably, I don't know if Phil is tuned in at the moment, but Phil already commented in the Big Cock Club Discord saying, weather report for New Hampshire, 13 degrees and sunny. So it's very cold. Phil, you will get a kick out of this, or you might be upset. Class on campus was canceled today. A lot of folks I know are out of work today, or working from home because of a winter weather advisory or winter weather threat. Literally not a drop of snow has happened. There hasn't been rain. There hasn't been ice. Maybe, just maybe this afternoon. Maybe, just maybe this afternoon. I don't know, but, you know, kind of funny. But either way, enjoy your time off if you got it today. Again, guys, got a lot to get into on this Friday. Appreciate you all tuning in. Before we do, I want to tell you about our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow, as always, is brought to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys are young but experienced and aggressive attorneys, both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms but represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a number, you're not a line item, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number, guys. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Again, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be, the last thing you should be dealing with, worrying about, is dealing with paperwork, the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, guys, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, the friends are at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Guys, we can discuss, Austin Greer says, can we talk football? We can discuss whatever you like. We can discuss whatever you like here on this Friday. Again, Friday, January the 21st, 2022. I almost had a brain fart there. January 21st, 2022. Say that 5 times fast. Either way, again, we're talking whatever you guys like. Give us a call. Give us a ring, 843-790-3377. You can also text that number, whatever it is. So, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Really excited to chat. Again, I've dropped my prediction already for Gamecocks basketball. I actually do, believe it or not, have South Carolina getting the dub tomorrow at Colonial Life Arena. I think South Carolina gets the dub tomorrow at Colonial Life Arena. Georgia is really, really bad. I mean, really bad. Like, not like us bad. They're like bad. So I think the Gamecocks do get that W. Also, by the way, shout out to my guy, Louie. I don't wear this shirt a ton, but he sent me this shirt a couple years ago, and it is fire. So, again, I appreciate you, Louie. Austin Greer says, let's see, Braden Davis is now a 3-star, lost a star on 24/7. Well, the cock drop, as my guy Jeff would say. We got a great question here. Let's see, bunch of great questions. Justin says, what's up, TSUS family, fellow TDCers, Daily Crowers, if you will. Let's have a great Friday. It's my birthday. Justin, happy birthday. He says, you know Busch lattes will be flowing. How about that? Justin, cheers to you. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday to Justin Langford. Love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. Again, Brennan M., hope you're enjoying your day not on campus, or I don't know if that's a normal thing for you, but whatever. Let's see. Jeff Gullidge missed the live show yesterday because of work. Caught the replay. It was definitely a quiet day. Couple questions. One, what did you do to the Bentleys? Jeff says, what did you do to the Bentleys? Saw your post on Twitter. Both Dad and Jake have blocked you. Did I miss something you have said to them? Jeff, I would just say this. They've had me, see, people don't realize that. They've had me blocked for a long time. I just never posted it or made it public. Jeff, what one specific thing was it that I said about Jake Bentley or his father? I don't know that there really was one. Jeff, the Muschamp era was just a complete shit show. I mean, so, listen, I didn't think Jake was very good. I was very critical of Jake. I called for a quarterback change pretty often. So which specific comment was it? I don't think I really ever said anything negatively about his dad, but, is it shocking to me that Jake Bentley has us blocked on Twitter? Not quite. Oop. Hold on, guys. Let me fix this real quick. Okay, now we're good. Sorry, I bumped the cord and all hell, everything went to hell. So I apologize for that. But anyways, what one specific thing is it that I said to Jake Bentley or his dad? Dude, the Muschamp era was just a complete shit show. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. It's no love lost. I guess Jake Bentley's not going to be coming on the show anytime soon. I don't know, man. Whatever it is, what it is. Happy for Jake Bentley. Happy for his successes. Happy for the family. Obviously, Bobby Bentley, what he's doing. Again, it's nothing but love from this side. Honestly, after he's left, I think we can all say we appreciate Jake Bentley because the quarterback play since he's left has not been fantastic, to say the least. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's whatever. Somebody blocking you on Twitter is not like a death sentence. It just is what it is. Matthew Isaac says, looking forward to baseball season. Interested to see how the pitching performs. Make it to the regional again. Matthew, I will drop my official predictions. The week of opening day, that Monday, but I can tell you, yes, I will not leave you guessing for the next 3 weeks or so. I do think this is a postseason team. Yes, I do. I feel confident in saying that this is a postseason team. Yeah, I don't think that's like a bold take. I don't think that's. Yeah, I think this is a postseason team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm willing to say that. Evan Slane, who's the last welcome home? We don't know. It hasn't been announced. The rumors out there are that it's Lavoisier Carroll. That's the rumors, though. That's all it is rumors. We'll wait and see. I mean, again, we feel pretty good about it, that's who it is. We do feel pretty good about that's who it is. But, again, nothing is out official. Nothing is out officially. So we'll wait and see. That kid or whoever the kid is will announce when he wants to. And you can be patient until then. Evan, you can be patient until then. All right? Be patient. Be patient. Stand still. Keeping the beer on the porch. Love it. Yeah. It is cold today. Either way, whether it snows, ices, whatever, it is cold. It is cold. Brian Lattimore, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, my guy. Jeff Gullidge's second comment or question. I know you can change it. But why do you think the SEC Network doesn't cover baseball games that much? It'd be great if they would line up a noon game, 3 game, and a night game on Friday, then again on Saturday, then again on Sunday. Yeah, Jeff, that's a great question. I still believe, we've made huge strides in college baseball when it comes to the exposure and how much attention the sport gets, but we're still very far away from where I think and many of us think it needs to be. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, listen, people love college baseball. I don't see why you don't put more games on TV. I know not everybody's a baseball person. I know there's some of you tuned in. You're not really big baseball fans. I know there's a lot of folks, baseball's, I don't know if it's saying it's an acquired taste is the right way, but not everybody loves baseball, right? Football is king. You could argue, I guess, that there's more interest in basketball. However, I'd say I think baseball is number 2 at South Carolina. I really do. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the overall tradition and the performance of the team. But, yeah, I think college baseball needs more attention for sure. You never know why, the TV networks, why do they schedule what they schedule? Why do they air what they air? I know basketball for a while is still going, so basketball is certainly going to take precedent over baseball. As much as, I think baseball should still get some of those slots. But, hopefully they'll continue hopefully they will continue to give it more and more attention, the attention it really truly deserves. Again, I think people love it. I think people love it, man. College baseball is incredible. It's so much fun to watch. Hey, at least though we're at the point, Jeff, where every game is streamed. I mean, now you can watch every game. At least you have the option. Dude, I remember, not to sound like an old head, but I remember being in my dorm at Newberry, like 2010, right? Being in my dorm at Newberry, and they had like, if anybody remembers this, just chime in, but they had like a website that had all these like private college video feeds. And it was basically like the video feed from what would be like SGTV, basically. You know what I mean? There was no commentary, there was no scoreboard, but it was at least a video feed of the field. Does anybody remember that? Because I do. I remember it vividly. I remember watching a lot of Gamecock games that way. So, but yeah, I mean, the sport needs more attention. The sport needs more attention for sure. Let's see. Austin Gray, college baseball so underrated. Hunter Herlong says, seen a video. South Carolina has 30 straight semesters of 3.0 GPA. Fantastic. Love to see that. Love to see that. Our basketball team can't win for shit, but at least they're smart. Let's see. Noah Johns, great day to have a day. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. Brian Dean, Spencer Rattler-led Gamecocks will win 9-10 games in 2022. Majority of the defense is back. Sky's the limit. Brian, I just, listen, I hear you. I'm excited. I'm optimistic. By the way, I want to tell you guys about a dream I had last night. So glad I remember this. I want to tell you about a dream I had last night. This is, swear to you, I'm not just making this up. I had a dream last night. And in this dream, let's see if this can happen. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You ever heard ladybugs are good luck? Ladybug in the stew. Just out of nowhere. So this means this dream I had is going to come to fruition. Right? This dream is going to come to fruition. Had a dream last night. South Carolina was playing Clemson in football. And as we went to the fourth quarter, the Gamecocks were up 56-0 on Clemson. I shit you not. That's the dream I had. So was it just a dream? Maybe so. But we're going to speak it into existence. Swear to you. Then I woke up. I was like, darn it. Darn it. 56-0 was the final score. Isn't that wild? So maybe this ladybug will bring us good luck and that will actually happen. So I don't know. But that was my dream. Yes, from my lips to God's ears, indeed. All right, get off me. Get off. It doesn't want to get off now. Come on. It was indeed a dream, Phil. Then I woke up and was like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Evan Slane, which baseball series are you most looking forward to? I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them. I mean, of course, the Clemson series is that's like a Super Bowl for me. I'll tell you this, guys, because I had somebody asking me the other day if I'm just trying to get this ladybug off my hand. All right, I'm trying to. Oh, well, all right. Now you're on the ground. All right. Anyways, somebody was asking me the other day about baseball and do I get more excited for baseball season, like covering it, or football, or, it's different. It's different, right? It's different. I'm a baseball guy. I played it. Nothing, there's nothing like a game day on a Saturday in South Carolina, right? There's nothing like a Saturday in South Carolina, game day, all that good stuff. But no, I honestly, man, I get just as excited for baseball. I like the Carolina, like, I'll tell you this. The Sunday game against Clemson last year, I have not been that nervous, legitimately nervous, watching a South Carolina sporting event in years. Like, bro, I was like pit in my stomach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, my stomach was in knots watching that game because I wanted that series. I wanted us to clinch that so bad. After what happened in 2020, Clemson fans going ballistic on me. I wanted that one so bad. I mean, I have not been that nervous in so long. Truly nervous. Like, and I don't know if Twan Love Kicks is saying wow because that's sad or saying wow because I don't know. But here we go. Let's jump to the phone lines. Let's see. Phil, you there, my guy?
call from
Phil Harris.
Phil, what's going on, my guy? How are you?
Hey, Chris. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Just hanging out here. Been making some graphics for Jack's Rangers.
Nice. Phil, real quick. How does it make you feel to know that we literally have school cancellations? Campus is closed for South Carolina for a winter weather advisory, and not a single flake, not a single shred of ice has dropped from the sky as of yet.
Listen, ice is dangerous for sure. I've been living up here for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take any amount of snow. Doesn't matter to me. 2 foot, 3 foot, whatever. I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's ice, it's super dangerous. I've spun around in my car 360 about twice, and I always have an all-wheel drive car. I'm not an idiot up here. You really have to have it. But regardless of that, ice doesn't care if you have 2 wheels, 4 wheels, whatever. It will spin you around, and you will shit your pants. It is terrifying. And even just walking around, it's treacherous, walking around on ice, dude. It's not good. So ice is scary. Snow is no big deal. Anybody that's a little afraid, here's the thing is being up here, born and raised Southerner, I've noticed that Southerners are afraid of snow. Y'all got to get over that. For real. It's really soft. To see schools closed and stuff like that, be better for sure. Nothing to be scared of, guys. But, I just wanted to mention that as of yesterday, we got the green light from the Carolina Rugby Board to have a special episode of the Rucking Rooster Show, which is on Gamecock Rugby YouTube channel that I host. We will have you on the episode along with former Carolina football player and now rugby player Gavin Bennett. He will be joining us on Monday along with you. So that episode will probably drop next Friday, guys. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. That's the collaboration between this Spurs Up show.
Very excited for
Roosters, Gamecock Rugby. Yeah, man, should be a good time. And for the people that want to, check out Gamecock Rugby YouTube, we've got a lot of cool stuff on there. We do really short videos that's a minute long, introducing the players. But at the same time, we have these long form conversations with players and also former players telling their tales, their tall tales, if you will, about their experiences with Gamecock Rugby. Gamecock Rugby, by the way, the oldest club sport in Carolina history, way back in 1968 was the founding, illustrious, history, great winning tradition of Carolina rugby. So I'm happy to bring that into the zeitgeist of Carolina athletic followers and stuff like that. So go check out our YouTube page. Yeah, and the boys will be playing back in April. Got some sevens tournaments that they'll be participating in the spring semester. So extremely excited about that.
Love that. Yeah, I'm excited to join you guys, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, we talked off the record. Gavin's an absolute character, so I'm excited to chat with him, and he's a great dude. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch you guys for a couple games or whatever. So I'm looking forward to it next week.
Hell yeah. It'll be fun. That's all I got for you. Go Cox.
Appreciate it, Phil. Thanks so much, man. Great stuff. 843-790-3373. I'll be joining Phil and Gavin Bennett, who you might remember Gavin. We had him last year on an interview. Gavin was a walk-on, played offensive line at South Carolina. I tell you what, Gavin was sneaky one of the best interviews of the year last year because of his willingness to be so open and honest about the end of the Will Muschamp era. It was very, very eye-opening, some of the things Gavin said and talked about, if you will. So really appreciate Gavin taking the time. Really, really good stuff. But, be sure to check that out whenever we join the Ruckin' Roosters show. Going to be a lot of fun. Okay, Twan Love Kicks. The score against Clemson. Yeah, 56-0. That was in my dream. Whatever. Okay, so we're dropping some more news here. Aaron Thompson asks, maybe you can get John Whittle on for some baseball talk. He is on it. Aaron, I do not think that's going to be happening anytime soon. First things first is this. And I like and respect all those guys with the Big Spur and Gamecock Central. They don't really do shows or interviews or anything like that that's outside of their network. I've extended the offer to a couple of those guys before and to no avail. John Whittle will definitely not be happening because, believe it or not, John Whittle has had me blocked on the Spurs Up show and even my personal account since summer of 2017. So, and if you want to hear the story behind it, you're more than welcome, or I will be more than glad to tell it. But yeah, John Whittle's had us blocked on social media for a very, very, very long time. And I don't see him hitting the unblock button anytime soon. So it's no ill wishes to John. It's ill wishes to John Whittle. John Whittle does a great job covering the Gamecocks and covering South Carolina baseball. And obviously he's a very well-known commodity in these parts. So, wish him nothing but the best. But I don't think you'll see John Whittle gracing our airwaves anytime soon, my guy. So let's see. Luke RJ says, I remember watching the baseball games without the scoreboard every year. The link seemed like it was different. The year when ESPN was being launched, only like a third of the games were available. Yeah, thank goodness like all of them are available. There's some that I guess aren't. Maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 a season, but for the majority, which is absurd, they are all available. Evan Slane, though, the baseball series I'm most looking forward to, again, if it's not Clemson, I mean, dude, the Texas series hosting number 1 at your ballpark, how could you not be looking forward to that? When it comes to SEC, getting Ole Miss here is an awesome series. Getting Vandy here is an awesome series. You got Georgia, and, just to hell with Georgia. It's just fun to play and beat Georgia in anything. The series in Gainesville's a good time. That series at Tennessee. There's a lot of great series, man. There's a lot of great series. Taylor and I just said, I think it'd be cool if you did like a live pregame show at Founders with your tailgate. Yeah, that's the plan, Taylor. That's what I want to do. We didn't do the live pregame shows for football just because, I did it. The opening game right before EIU from Jay's Corner, which was awesome. It was so cool. It was super dope. That was one of my goals. That was sort of one of my dreams, if you will. When you start this thing, that was sort of something I wanted to do. But I did that pregame show and just realized I was like, am I really putting out new value? Am I really putting out value at all in the sense of, guys, we go live for 2 hours a day every single day, right? We're live for 2 hours a day. We talk about a lot. We break everything down in every way you can. Heck, we're going to be live on Fridays, of course, with the Daily Crow. We're going to be live on Fridays for 2 hours, and then the games in the series are going to happen. So it's like, how much more is there really to talk about? You know what I mean? How much more? What else is there to say? I mean, we've said it all. We've dropped 5 podcasts, and you think about it, we've been live for 10 hours or so, and that's not including 10 Roof. We've been live for 10 hours or so during the week. So it's like a Saturday pregame show. I mean, there's just not a ton left. You know what I'm saying? There's not a ton left to say. I love doing the pregame shows. Don't get me wrong. I very well might bring them back just because I love doing them, but there's just not a lot to say. There's not a ton to say. Travis Lee says, damn, Whittle, Bentley, Daddy Bentley, who doesn't have you blocked? Travis, shockingly enough, Will Muschamp doesn't. Will Muschamp doesn't. And I would also say, Travis, who doesn't have us blocked, the 18.8 thousand that are following us on Twitter. So, no, I mean, dude, it is what it is. John Whittle, I'll tell you this. The reason John Whittle had me blocked, again, this is back when we had like 100 followers. This is before it was even the Spurs Up show. We were literally armchair South Carolina at this point. But the reason he has us blocked, I've talked about this before in regards to, leading with service and gratitude and empathy and love, if you will. Well, early on, I was not doing that. I had a chip on my shoulder. I was trying to break in and break through and be the guy, what have you, or trying to break into the quote unquote media landscape. And so I just had my first guest ever on the show, who was Forrest Kumis, good buddy of mine. You might remember, started game 1 of the 2011 College World Series, was a fantastic pitcher for South Carolina. And this is right when Chad Holbrook had gotten fired, right? And so all the speculations out there, who's going to be the next baseball coach, who is it, whatever. Well, I had Forrest Kumis on, and obviously Forrest Kumis is going to have some connections, right? He's going to have some connections. And he told me on that interview, said, Chris, my dad is really good friends with an SEC umpire. And he said that he told him that Kevin O'Sullivan it's basically a done deal. He's going to be our head coach. It's a done deal. So I went on Twitter and said that. That was probably the first tweet I ever put out there that really, I'm not going to say went viral, but for the common folk, it went viral for sure. Like 100 retweets, like whatever. And we had 100 followers. And so I think John Whittle tweeted it. It was John Whittle specifically that tweeted it. Something about who's going to be the next Gamecocks baseball coach. Click the link, and it had the little dollar sign. And me being a snarky asshole, I replied and said, or you can just tune into our podcast, which is free. And I guess that irritated him so badly to the point that he blocked us. He blocked my personal account, and we've been blocked ever since. Again, that was summer of 2017. That was that was May of 2017. Been blocked ever since. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I could have said much worse, but, I was being a snarky dickhead, so whatever. It is what it is. I guess I got what I was asking for. But, I was trying to – I don't even know what I was trying to do, to be honest with you. So, whatever. It is what it is. Damn near 5 years ago. But, anyways. Caden, no new word on Kusnard or Wilson. No new word. No new word on those guys. You hope they can play. I mean, that's going to be a really troublesome sign if they're, they're still not ready to go. They're still dealing with this, that, whatever. Like, come on, man. What could be going on, right? What could be going on? Again, guys, I've dropped my prediction. I'm actually picking the Gamecocks to win that game tomorrow against Georgia. Georgia is a special level of bad. They are a special level of bad. So, and yes, we have a 10-game winning streak over Georgia in basketball. Yes, 10-game winning streak. We have a 10-game win. Georgia has not beaten South Carolina since 2016. 2016 is the last time Georgia beat South Carolina in basketball. So, I mean, we're struggling. They're bad. They're 5-13. Haven't won a conference game. They lost their first conference game by 2 points somehow. And then every single one, all the rest, they've lost by like 20 points. So, do I think it's going to be an easy victory? Do I think we're going to win by 20 or 30 points? Probably not. But no doubt it's a game we should win. I mean, absolutely no doubt. So, and I think we will. I think we'll come home. We'll play better. We'll bounce back. The crowd, as far as the crowd's concerned, I don't think it'll be a great crowd. I don't think it'll be. I'll tell you this. Braddock says if we lose to Georgia, this could be bad. I'll tell you this, Braddock. If we lose to Georgia, Frank Martin has just lost the team. I mean, just completely, totally lost the team. So, you lose to Georgia, it's, you've completely lost these guys because there's just no excuse. There's no excuse to lose to Georgia. None. Absolutely none. They're looking for their first SEC win. Nobody wants to be that team either. Nobody wants to be that team that suffers or gives Georgia their first SEC win. Nobody does. Nobody does. So, again, guys, if you're in the Columbia area, I'm curious, how are you spending your snow day? I guess this afternoon it's supposed to pick up and actually happen. I guess it's supposed to happen. I saw like 3 o'clock, I think, is when it really kicks in. So I'm going to try to have a normal day and go to the gym, and I don't know, maybe tonight just kick. Yeah, we'll see. 4 o'clock, light rain and freezing rain, 50%. And then 5 o'clock is when you got rain and freezing rain, 80%. And then 6 o'clock, freezing rain, 92%. And then around 7 to 8. And from 7 to 1 a.m., it's like 90% chance of snow. So it's supposed to snow. I guess we'll see tonight if we get snow. I don't know. Sounds like a great night to honestly throw on a hoodie and sweatpants and get some bourbon and be warmed up by some bourbon and maybe cut a movie on or something. I don't know. I was thinking about today. Maybe today would be the day we stream some NCAA football. I really want to do some MLB The Show stuff. I really want to do some show stuff. I have MLB The Show 20 because I haven't bought the new one. I don't know, man. I don't know what we could do. The only positive of baseball season getting canceled in 2020, which there weren't many, but there were people out there who actually made the college baseball rosters. And I'm like, dude, I would love to do that again. Like, I would love to play the season at South Carolina. That would be so much fun. But for me to set that all up and do that and set the current rosters as they are, that would just be a nightmare. That would take so long. It would take absolutely forever. So I got no interest in doing that. Let's see. Caden Gibson, Stevie's got to get hot at some point, right? Hey, you keep shooting, eventually they'll fall. That's the thought process, Caden. You keep shooting, eventually they'll fall. You keep shooting, eventually they'll fall. And guess what? Shoot or shoot. I can guarantee you, man, Stevie's going to keep shooting. That's a fact. All right, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Dalton.
There we go. Dalton, what's up, man? How are you?
How's it going, bud?
I'm doing well, man.
I'm just hanging out on my day off. All the state
Love
agencies are shut down.
Love
so
that.
We're just chilling. I wouldn't say I love it, but we'll see. If the weather's really bad, it's gonna suck. But you know, we'll just see what happens. But I just wanted to call in and sort of talk about the future of our athletics department. Because there's not really a whole lot going on as far as on the field action.
Right.
One thing I've sort of been thinking is that with the win over Alabama in the national championship game a couple weeks ago, it doesn't seem to me that any other school in the SEC can't do what Georgia just did to win their title in football. But I think what it's going to take is it's going to take a pretty much a 100% commitment into the football program by the athletics department. And I just personally don't see the board of trustees doing that. You basically just have to ignore every other sport other than football and just commit to it and just agree to suck in every single other sport and give it no resources. So I'm wondering how you feel about that. Would you be willing to do that to try and win the first title ever in football in the history of the University of South Carolina, or do you think that that's too much of a cost to sort of bear for our board of trustees?
So basically, you're saying, do you basically sacrifice the health of every other sport to just try to make football a title contender? Pretty much, because there's no guarantee. You're just trying to.
You have to in this case, because football obviously is the highest profile sport in college athletics.
Right.
It's the one that makes the most money. It's the one that everybody wants to win a championship in the most. So you basically have to go all in with it. And from what I can tell, I think Beamer has the skills to win a title at South Carolina. He has the skill set. But the question is, does he have enough resources? Are we committed enough to our football program to actually do that?
Well, I mean, my initial reaction is no. I don't think you sacrifice the health of the entire athletic department to, again, maybe win a national championship, because there's no guarantees. You still got to coach, you still got to play, you still got to do it. I get what you're saying in regards to allocating the resources But, I mean, I guess I would ask you this question. Outside of just simply doing what Texas A&M just did, where it's estimated they spent, $30 million on their recruiting class. Outside of that, what resources does South Carolina not have in football that they need to be a national title contender? Because the facilities are there, in my opinion. The facilities are there. Got a great university, great fan base that shows up and shows out. You're in the best conference in the country. So, I mean, unless we're just simply talking about, hey, we need to take away money we're giving to baseball and basketball and women's basketball and softball and this, and just use all that money to throw the bag at every five-star, I mean, I guess I would ask, what other resources are we lacking that we need to have a big-time winner?
Well, I mean, the go-to one for a lot of people, obviously, is the recruiting budget, as you talked about. And I think the landscape of college football, it's just turning more into a money-driven sport, right? Which there's some pros and there's some cons. Obviously, if you play in the SEC, if you're in the SEC conference, you have a lot of money. When people say South Carolina doesn't have as much money as a school like Georgia or Alabama, that's true to a degree. They may have a little bit more money than us, but if you look at the revenues our athletic department brings in, we're not lacking in money. It's not like we're just, penny pinching. We have money, but I think the main thing that just helps you win in the SEC is just having your athletics department go 100% all in and say, Coach Beamer, whatever you want, whatever you need to make this program compete with the big dogs in the SEC, which means competing with the big dogs in the entire nation. That's what we're going to give you. Here's a blank check. Tell us what you need and get us there. And then if you can't do it, then I don't know. We can go back to the drawing board. But I honestly feel our football program is sort of going in a direction where it could be going to maybe the best place it has been ever in the history of our school with Coach Beamer there. And I think Coach Beamer has the drive, the ability, and the passion to just run through a brick wall every single day. The question is, does he have enough, what he needs to get us there, to get us to beating Georgia in the SEC game, or beating Texas A&M, or beating Alabama? That's sort of the question.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this. I don't say this in like a disrespectful way. I think your opinion would be very unpopular because people do love women's basketball. They love basketball. They love baseball. So to insinuate that, because basically what you're insinuating is we gotta shave some money off of. So what do? Do you dock Dawn Staley's pay? Do you dock Martin's? I guess Martin maybe he's on the way out anyways. But do you dock Dawn Staley's pay? That's the big one, right? Like where does the money come from? Unless it's just boosters pulling their checkbooks out. See, like I think the money will come. I think if we go out and go 8-4, 9-3 next year, I think boosters will be more willing to open up, even give more money. I would say this too, though. You think back to our true heyday, 2010 to 13. Baseball won 2 national championships, and Spurrier took us to the heights we'd never seen before. Those were national championship caliber teams. Okay, those really were. We didn't get the job done. We lost games we shouldn't, but I think we can all agree, especially 11, 12, 13 were national championship caliber teams. Spurrier did it without all the resources now. We have far more resources than he had in regards to facilities, especially. It's night and day different in regards to facilities. So I get what you're saying.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
My sort of question is, I'm been just trying to think what is the differentiating factor between a school that can win a national title in football and compete with the big dogs in the SEC and a school that can't? Because from what I can tell, if we do the right things, we have everything we need. There's no reason why Clemson can win a title and we can't win one, right? So
I agree.
The question then becomes, what do we have to change to get to that point?
I agree.
Right?
I do think I don't disagree. Listen, I don't disagree with you with, we need to make sure we are throwing the money we need to throw into recruiting. I no doubt, because recruiting is the name of the game. We can talk that, stars don't mean everything, and they don't, certainly. But there's a reason the teams that are fighting for the playoff every year are in the top 5 or top 10 in recruiting. There's a reason, right? Big time players make big time plays. Like the Jimmies and Joes win games. So I guess the question is, what comes first? It's like the chicken or the egg conversation. Like, do you have to win to attract big time players? Or do you have to get big time players to win? I think what Beamer's doing so far, though. Listen, he got Spencer Rattler to come here. He got, Austin Stogner to come along with him. He's gotten some big time players. So now you got to convert that this year. You got to parlay the success and momentum you have from year one and convert that into even greater successes this year. You go 8-4 this year. God forbid you go 9-3. Yeah, I think recruiting is going to continue to change. It would only make sense. It will be bothersome if we went 9-3 and then we're still 23rd in recruiting. It should elevate for sure. And yeah, I'll tell you this, I don't disagree. There's got to be a commitment from all parties to, to win a national championship. I think you're correct. Everybody has to be bought in and doing whatever it takes to make that happen. However, again, I don't know that looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, we've got to sacrifice every other sport to, to have a winner in football. I don't know that that's really the way to go about it. And I can tell you this certainly. If let's just say for some reason you are going to go about it that way, you're certainly not going to make that a publicly known thing. You're not. You're not going to come out and say, well, we're going to take this away from Dawn Staley, this away from Mark Kingston, this away from Frank Martin to put it all to football. You certainly don't come out publicly and say that. But I'll tell you this right now, man. I don't think there's many a Gamecock fan, for example, that are going to say, oh, yeah, let's take back $1 million a year from that Dawn Staley contract and put it into recruiting. Let's take this away from this and this away from that. I just don't think that's a feasible thing. But I don't disagree with you that, yeah, to win a national championship and get to a championship level, everybody's got to be balled in. And I guess it's a little bit out of our control because we're not on the board of trustees. We don't have impact on what the board of trustees does or says or anything like that. But, yeah, certainly. I mean, listen, you just hired a new president. I would be willing to bet you within the next year you're going to have a new athletic director because from everything I've heard, I think Ray Tanner is, he's getting older. He's kind of at the end of wanting to do this thing. So, yeah, there's just got to be a commitment from those people, the people that are actually in charge, to put a consistent winner on the field. And it's not going to be easy because you're in the SEC and you've got schools like Georgia who have tradition and just won a national championship, and schools like Florida and Tennessee and LSU and Auburn and Bama that aren't going away. But,
well, is it really the tradition, the quote unquote tradition in, scare quotes that differentiates schools who, like, do you have to win a national title before you can win another national title?
I mean, listen, tradition, all tradition started from somewhere, but yeah, I mean, I think it'd be foolish to think that on the recruiting trail, South Carolina's lack of tradition doesn't hurt. Yeah, for sure. I mean, tradition certainly is something you say, hey, this is just living proof it can be done here. We've got a standard of excellence and a standard of winning. Like, we don't have that. We can't hang our hat on and say, well, we've done it before. You can come here and win a championship. Like, we can't really sell that. What we have to sell is come here and do things that have never been done before. And again, you got to find the guys who want to do that. It takes a certain type of individual. I'm not knocking the kid or anything, but a guy like Oscar Delp. I mean, obviously, again, he's an in-state guy to Georgia, and I'm not knocking the kid for staying home, but, maybe he's a kid that just he wants to go somewhere where it's, hey, I'm most likely going to win a ring. He doesn't want to go to South Carolina and take the harder road to get there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I trust me, dude. Lack of tradition on the recruiting trail is, it's not like a death sentence for us, but yeah, tradition matters. I mean, I think it definitely matters. Now, is it everything? Ask Nebraska, right? Ask Southern Cal of late. Ask Tennessee. Ask Florida State, God forbid. It doesn't mean everything, but yeah, having tradition helps. But it's not the end all be all. But yeah, but tradition starts somewhere. I do agree that it's. You can't use that as an excuse like, oh, well, we've never done it before, so we just can't do it. I mean, I have that same argument with people in basketball. It's like people just want to use the excuse of, well, we've never been good at basketball. Well, are we just going to forever never be good, or are we going to, try to be better? So
yeah, I mean, yeah. I would say that football and basketball are a little bit different.
Right.
As
yeah,
far
they
as
are.
Sports, because with basketball, it's not like, I mean, obviously you have the Dukes and, the Kansases and all the blue blood programs of basketball that get all the 5-star recruits. Does that mean that they're going to, win the tournament every year? No. I mean, you could be, a Power 5 school that has just good team chemistry and you figure out how to win games and you get hot in the tournament and you win it all, Whereas in football, it takes much, much more of a commitment from your athletics department as a whole to win, because everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win that trophy. And
right.
You look at Georgia right now. I hate Georgia. I literally hate them. But you look at them, most Georgia fans have never seen their school win a title. Mm-hmm. I mean, as much as Georgia has been considered, like a blue blood program and they're just up in the upper echelon. Until a couple weeks ago, there were Georgia fans who have gone 30, 40 years without ever seeing their school win a title, and they just did it. So I would say that sort of opens the door, along with Clemson, a school like Clemson, where it took them a really long time to win another championship. And I hate them even more than Georgia, but you look at those two programs and you go, maybe it is possible for a school like South Carolina if the right things happen, right? Yeah. And from what I can see, I just haven't seen in the last 2 decades, other than the Spurrier hire, the board of trustees wanting to make the right things happen. Obviously, under Will Muschamp, we did make improvements in our facilities, and our facilities are, just as good as any other facility in the SEC. Our fan base is just as good as any other school in the SEC. We have everything we need. So what I'm trying to think is, like, what is the missing piece? What do we need, now that we have a coach that we feel can take us there? What exactly do we need aside from that?
So let me ask you this then, before I let you go. Let me ask you this. What would be your first or most important plan of action, if you will? Like, if you were in charge of the board of trustees, or just in charge for a day, or I guess, what would you want to see from South Carolina that makes you feel like we are really committed to making the football program a championship caliber? And we're not talking just winning 8 games. We're not talking about winning the Duke's Mayo Bowl. We're talking about winning an SEC championship. What does the board need to do? What does the university need to do to show you and prove to everyone they are committed to getting to that level on a consistent basis?
Well, what I would do first is I would up the salary, or not the salary, but I would up the revenue that we spend on staff, because in the modern day of college football, it's more like professional football than ever. So not only do you need position coaches that are good and can evaluate talent and can coach talent, you need analysts. You need people who are going out there and scouting on a day-to-day basis, not only from high schools, but also from other Power 5 universities. And if you look at Georgia, that's what they have. Kirby Smart's staff and Nick Saban's staff is one of the biggest in the SEC as far as sheer manpower and, as far as their analysts and their scouting department. So you're going to need that is the first thing. Second thing is NIL. NIL isn't the end-all be-all, obviously. Like, just because you pay someone money to come to your school doesn't mean that they're going to do it or that they're not going to get a better offer. But you will need, if you're a school like South Carolina, to make a commitment to NIL, because you need talent on the field that can compete with Texas A&M and schools who are doing that, who are spending tons of money on players and recruiting. So those would be the first 2 things. Mm-hmm. And then, once you start getting proven results on the field, and you maybe start winning enough games to where you're beating teams like Mizzou, like Kentucky, like Tennessee, you're just beating them and it's not even a problem every year. Then you can say, what do we need to get past the upper echelon? What do we need to get past Georgia? What do we need to get past Alabama? What do we need to get past LSU? So that would be sort of my plan of action. And if I was a member of the board of trustees, I would be willing to cut basically anything else. Maybe not Dawn Staley. That's the only other program I would say we're going to go to everything else first. We're going to, see what we can take from every other program first, or what, sort of financial moves we can make in every other program. We're going to leave Dawn Staley's program alone because it's winning. But that's what I would do, because in order to win a title, which, that would honestly be one of the best days of my life if South Carolina
and many others
could, hoist that trophy up and we could claim to be national champions in the sport of football. But it takes a long time and it's not easy to do. So, I mean, obviously you wouldn't tell the fan base that, like, hey, this is what we're doing, but you would do it in the background, and that's sort of the pieces that you would need.
Yeah, these are all moves made behind the scenes, obviously. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. Again, it's I will say I respect the heck out of the call. A very, very thorough. This call has been a thinker. We'll put it that way. So I appreciate that. And yeah, we'll see if South Carolina does what they need to do to, because I agree with you. There's got to be a commitment across the board, from the board of trustees to your president, to your AD, to obviously your coaches, and trickles all the way down to your fan base, Because I tell you what, one of the most dangerous things in life, and a lot of people have them, is limiting beliefs and limiting, thinking, putting a cap on yourself and putting a cap on your potential and what you can accomplish. And again, people do it all the time. That's why a lot of people never achieve great things. So I do agree with you that South Carolina needs to remove those limiting beliefs while remaining realistic. Remove those limiting beliefs and understand that a championship can be won here. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. But I think you also have the coach, as you mentioned earlier. You have the coach, as you mentioned earlier, that's willing and embracing, taking on that challenge. He wants that challenge. That's why he came here. And as we've seen already through 1 year, he is taking it head on. Dalton, fantastic stuff, man. I appreciate the call. Really, really good stuff. Again, this is the comments are going crazy right now as far as all the topics you bring up. And again, it's something worth discussing, and I know it's not something we're gonna stop discussing anytime soon, because I agree with you. We need to see it from the athletics department, from the university as a whole, and that commitment to winning at a high level.
All right. Well, you have a good one,
Dalton. I appreciate the call, my man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. No, that was great stuff. man. Yeah, I think when you phrase it the way he originally did in regards to, well, we need to shave this off this sport, this off this sport. I mean, that's not going to fly with people. That's not going to fly with people. I don't want resources to be taken away from baseball, for example. I want to see baseball get back to Omaha. I want to see baseball win a national championship. But I get what Dalton is saying in regards to there being a commitment from the top down in regards to getting this football program over the hump, getting this football program to an elite status, the financial commitment being there, right? I get what he's saying. And a lot of that piece is having the right person in charge as your head football coach. And I really do truly believe, I know it's just been 1 year, who knows what's going to happen the rest of the way, but you see what Shane Beamer did in year one, you see what he's preaching, you see him bringing a guy like Spencer Rattler. I think we have that guy. It's going to take time. Guys, we're not going to win. We're not going to win 10 games in year two. I'm willing to go on record and say that. We're not going to go 10-2. We're not. But if you give it time, if you're patient, it's not about making one huge jump. It's about slowly over time, incrementally getting better, right? If we can just continue to make progress, right? Getting a big upset win over Georgia, or getting an upset win over Auburn like the previous staff did, getting those one-off victories, doesn't help your program if you can't build on it. It doesn't help your program if you can't. It's about making progress. Those wins are, think about that 2019 victory over Georgia. That was an empty victory because you end up blowing it later in the season. You go 4-8. Who cares that you beat Georgia? Brian Lattimore's got a really interesting comment I want to get to after the break. We're going to take a break first. Brian Lattimore in the Big Cock Club Discord, and I'm going to get to your questions. By the way, Phil making me laugh here with all the tomato emojis. Listen, the beauty's in the banter. We can agree to disagree. If you've got thoughts on Dalton's call, anything else, do you feel like the University of South Carolina is doing what they need to do? Do you feel like we're committed to winning, and winning at a high level? Not just winning at a championship level in the sport of football. All that, much more, guys. I want to hear from you. Questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Continue to take your questions, your comments, your calls. Great stuff from Dalton, by the way. I got to give him props again. That call, we get a lot of calls in here, and love all of them the same. But it's fun when you get a call where it really makes you kind of just stop and think and look at things from a different vantage point. So again, South Carolina, the university, the commitment to winning. I would just say the biggest thing is nobody likes to see when there is a graphic drop in regards to recruiting budgets and you are farther down the list than you should be. So I would say if you're going to spend money anywhere in football, that's where it should be spent in recruiting, because recruiting is the name of the game. Bottom line, recruiting is the name of the game. It's the name of the game. So, and I see some people comment about, oh, more dollars being spent. Why do you care? Is it your money? Like, it ain't my money that's being spent. Let them spend away. Spend it all. I don't care how much they spend. They need to spend enough. They need to spend enough. So, and we all know money don't grow on trees, but my goodness, spend enough to make it happen. Again, 843-790-3377. Guys, in case you missed it, I've got South Carolina beating Georgia tomorrow, by the way. Final score, 74-66. I'm locked in at that. Feel good about that. Georgia is terrible. Let's see, Jeff Gollers, do we not have boosters or someone that can match Texas and offering $50,000 to offensive linemen a year to come play here? I don't know, man. We've got some wealthy boosters for sure, board of trustees folks, but again, how they spend their money, how they open their checkbook. I think the biggest problem from and thank God we got a new president, but when you piss Darla Moore off, that really just, and I saw somebody comment something. Obviously we all remember the story. You piss Darla Moore off, and because you didn't send condolences when her, I don't know, whoever family member, whoever it was, passed away. But Clemson did and you didn't. And that pissed Darla Moore off. And I'll never forget, somebody commented, they're like, well, what's she getting upset about? Like, everybody else doesn't get condolences, but not everybody gets that. It's like, well, not everybody else has a part of the school named after them. Not everybody else is worth whatever the hell her net worth is. Hey, is this your first day on planet Earth? Have you forgotten the golden rule? Those who have the gold make the rules. So, yeah, you're going to treat Darla Moore differently than you treat a Silver Spur member. All due respect to all my Silver Spurs out there. So, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. That's all I'm saying. And Phil, I don't know what type of donor she was. I'm just saying, though, in general, rule of thumb, you need to take care of those who take care of you. You know what I mean? You need to take care of those who take care of you. So, all right, here's, I know this will ruffle some feathers, by the way. This will ruffle some feathers. Let's see. Here we go. Brian Lattimore in the Big Cock Club Discord in the TDC Questions channel. And this will get people going a little bit. And I know that's what we're here for. Beauties in the banter as we hit the second hour here on the Daily Corona Friday. Brian Lattimore says, maybe unpopular opinion, but people only care about women's basketball because they're winners. If you told me the football program was a legitimate contender, but our women's basketball program was a nobody, you would never hear people complain, quote, I wish women's basketball was better. I will open it up to you all. You want to call in about that comment, 843-790-3377. I'll tell you this. And again, you guys tune into this show because I'm honest. I call it like I see it. I love Dawn Staley. I love the women's basketball program. I love what she's done. Brian Lattimore has a point. That, I mean, listen, and it's not like a slight. It's just, what are the big three in college sports? And I'll take it a step further, by the way. Brian Lattimore's comment again, if you told me, you could rephrase what Brian said this way. If you told me the football program was a legitimate contender, but blank was a nobody, you would never hear people complain, I wish blank was better. When football's good, everything else is better. Everything. Is that, it's if you're average at baseball and average at basketball and average at women's basketball, but you're elite in football, nobody's going to complain, dude. No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, football really gauges the entire mood of a fan base. So if you're crushing it in football, I mean, you want the other sports to be good, don't get me wrong. You want the other sports to be good, but, you know, people got really upset with me. People got really upset with me when, and maybe I messed up, you know, looking back, I'm like, you know, maybe I should have. But when I did, what was the best moment of the decade, right? Best moment of the decade. This was going into the new year, 2021. Best moment of the decade from 2010 to 2020 or 2010 to 2019, however you want to, the decade, whatever. Best moment of the decade. And it was a poll question, and I listed Gamecocks 2010 SEC East Championship in football, back-to-back baseball national championships, and that is a spam call. Thank you for the Muschamp Packers. Back-to-back baseball national championships, Final Four run in men's basketball, and my final option was other. And I caught hell from people. Where is the women's basketball national title in 2017? That's above this, above that, whatever. And I get it, but guys, I'm just here to tell you, that was awesome. That was a great moment. I've talked with a lot of fans. I know a lot of people. I interact with a lot of folks. There are 10 plus football games, just specific games that I know for a fact Gamecock fans would list above their favorite memories over the course of that decade than over the. And it's also the question when I posed it, and I tried to make this point on social media and nobody wanted to hear it. Like, it's a question like there's no right or wrong answer. It's your favorite memory, right? Your favorite memory. So, anyways, you know, but yeah, the reality is this. Again, the big three sports are men's basketball, baseball, and football. And football's king. Football is king. And people want to be good at football, bottom line. And you shouldn't have to sacrifice being good at any other sport to be good at football. You shouldn't. Let's just call that for what it is. But there ain't a Gamecock fan in existence out there that wouldn't say, I would trade. I mean, I've had people tell me they would trade both the baseball national titles. They'll trade the women's basketball successes. They'll trade the Final Four for a championship in football because it moves the needle. It's king. Football's king. As much as I love baseball, football's king. It is. For many folks, beating Clemson 5 years in a row in football, I mean, that's the greatest thing we've ever done. So, no, Brian's got a point. It's a very, listen, what Brian said, and God knows who knows if the Twitterverse catches a clip of what I've said here today, or if the Twitterverse is somehow tuned in here. Like what I just said, you can't say that on Twitter. Like, tweet it without people losing their minds. Because some people just can't think critically, and of course, Twitter's not a place for people to think critically. Bruce Laderberg says, do you think the women's basketball team brings in more money than the men's team? Absolutely not, Bruce. Absolutely not. There are 3 sports on campus. I can guarantee you there are 3 sports on campus that operate in a plus, in a positive, that actually bring in revenue. Those are football, baseball, and men's basketball. Every other sport is a loss. Yes, and that includes women's. That is a loss. It is in the negative. Yes. It is in the negative. At best, it's at 0. So, that's just the reality. So, yeah, I mean, there were some people, hey, listen, Dawn Staley deserves every penny she gets, but when you're paying a coach in a negative revenue sport $3 million a year, some people raise an eyebrow. Now, I mean, give her every dollar. She deserves it, but.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Robbie, here we go.
To accept, press 1.
Robbie, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing good on this rainy day. How are you?
I'm doing well. Robbie, do me a favor. Say it with your chest so everybody can hear you on the call. The calls are coming in. The call volume's coming in low today for some reason. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear you.
Okay. Can do. Can you hear me better now?
Yes,
How about that?
yes.
Okay. All right. I agree with you that the big three are football, men's basketball, and what was the other one?
Baseball.
Yes, those three. Whether people like it or not, yes, those are the big three.
Yeah, I mean that's Robbie. That's not a hot take. I'm not saying anything that's like earth shattering or groundbreaking. It's just those are the big three collegiate sports. Yeah,
Exactly. But people are always going to be like, where's the national championship in 2017 for Don Staley? Are we glad that happened? Yes, we are extremely glad that happened because we at least won a national championship in something. Okay, but before we won the national championship in women's basketball, we won back-to-back titles in baseball. Okay, would I give up if I was a coach? Would I give up winning a national title in something else to win a national title in football? Absolutely, I would. Hands down, I would. If I could, I would give up the. As much as I hate saying it, I'd give up the back-to-back national titles in baseball if it meant we got one in football.
yeah. I mean, here's the good. I want to point this out too. Here's the good thing. This is all just a fan hypothetical thing. What we can do on the Daily Crow, because I don't think you should have to. You know, I understand what Dalton. I don't know if you heard his call earlier. What Dalton was saying. I don't think you should have to sacrifice success in a sport to get success in another. I don't think you should.
I would.
Right. No, I understand. Again, it's a fun hypothetical, but like Dawn Staley and the women's basketball program shouldn't be punished because football is not exactly where you want it to be. Right. So I want everybody to know
the way they'll see it. Right.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know coming from me. Like I am in no way sitting here saying anything negative about Dawn Staley and the women's program, that the national title wasn't awesome, because it was. But it's just, again, we're fans. We can play these hypothetical games. So,
right. What she has done for this university, say she's here till she retires and hangs up her coaching shoes or whatever you want to call it, right? We will probably never see something like this happen for this university again.
And I will say this too, onto that point, not trying to cut you off, but it is fantastic positive exposure. The fact that, I mean, we're number one. We're probably going to win a national championship. You win a national championship in anything, that's fantastic exposure for your school, not just that program, but for your school as well. Any positive momentum around your university is a good thing. So dude, I hope they win the next 10 national titles in a row. That would be fantastic for the University of South Carolina.
I think it would be safe to say she could probably retire by that point.
Indeed.
She could retire happily and go down as the greatest women's South Carolina coach in history.
Absolutely.
Would I love to see us go like 10-2 this coming football season? Absolutely, I would, because that would mean we're in the contention for going to Atlanta. Okay, but it's probably not going to happen, because like I told you before, Rome was not built in a day, so it's not going to take a day for Beamer to build a winning program. Even though we won 6 games this season, when we were supposed to only win at the most 3. Okay? And I keep saying it, just everybody needs to just shush, keep your mouth shut, and let Beamer do his job, what he gets paid to do, and that's build a winning program, and let him do it. Because I truly think he can do it. But the question is, are they going to give Beamer the resources that he needs to do what he has to do? That's the question.
So again, though, I would pose the question, and maybe you or I or Dalton or anybody else are the wrong people to ask. But I mean, again, outside of literally just giving Shane Beamer a $10 million check and saying, go spend this on recruiting. Literally go throw the bag at every 5-star player you can go get. Outside of that, I mean, again, what resources do we not have? I mean, you know what I mean? Like what glaring thing is there that we just, well, we're not winning in football because of this. Well, no, we're not winning in football because we had a shitty head coach.
Right.
That's why we're not winning, because we had a shitty head coach before. So now we got a good head coach.
Beamer,
and now we got to get players.
We had a head coach that didn't do diddly.
And now we got to get players. So, I mean, I don't know, like, what specific, you know, you got to make minor upgrades as you go along and everything. And they actually are. They're upgrading Willie B right now. They're going to have those LED ribbon boards. Thank God. Going to be awesome. But, like, I don't know what specific.
Oh, I can't wait to go to a night game in there, bro. That's going to be cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I don't know, I mean, I don't disagree. There's got to be a commitment across the board to winning, but I don't look at South Kona and say, well, I don't know. We're still kind of lacking
in
here.
In general helps your sports program.
Right. Right. Yeah. Confirmed. Winning is
sport
good for business.
Winning is the cure to everything whenever it comes to wanting to succeed in sports. Winning cures it.
Confirmed. Winning is good for business. Confirmed. That is confirmed. I can
winning
confirm
is
that.
Losing sucks. Winning is good for business. And like, I know that there's people that like are ready. Like for instance, if we lose tomorrow against Georgia, if our men's basketball team loses tomorrow to Georgia, if I was Frank Martin, I'd put a for sale sign next to my house.
Indeed.
Okay. Do I have us beating Georgia in my prediction? Yes, I do. I got us winning 72 to 60.
I could very well see that.
72 to 60.
I could very well see that.
If we don't beat Georgia by double digits, Martin's got to go. And also with I've said before, if you just give Beamer time, like we weren't expecting, like whenever John Staley got here, we weren't expecting to be winning national championships. We didn't start winning national championships until like several years down the road. Okay. She had to get some recruiting classes in, evaluate them, make them better, and then next thing you know, the winning started. We started winning on a regular basis. Started winning conference games on a regular basis, beating top 10 teams on a regular basis, and now we are literally the best team in the country. So just like same thing with Beamer. Just let him do his job. Let him get recruiting classes flowing. Evaluate, recruit, make the players better. Get better coaches if you need to, and just go from there. And the only place to go now is up. When you hit rock bottom, the only place to go is up. So, I mean,
indeed. Hey, indeed. When you hit rock bottom, the only place to go is up. I think we're going up. So I think we're going up, man. Like you said, winning is great for business. Frank Martin, currently bad for business. It's pretty simple. It's black and white. It's, yeah. So,
right.
No, like I said, I think we're doing what we need to do to win in football, and I think it's going to come down to getting big-time players and going and winning games on the field and parlaying all that positive momentum and positive momentum into success. So I think we're doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Robbie, so you're 72 to 60. You got South Carolina beating Georgia. I don't know if you missed it. I've also got South Carolina beating Georgia. I think Georgia is bad. So I do think we'll get the win. And like you said,
if we lose to Georgia, I'm being dead. Like I said, he needs to go ahead and put a for sale sign by his house.
Yeah, that one will be.
Because if they're as horrible as you say they are,
no, they are. They're bad.
If we lose, if that's the case, then if we lose to Georgia by double digits or lose at all, he needs to put a for sale sign by his house.
I agree. Robbie, we're going to jump into a break, my friend. I appreciate you calling in, but I think your prediction is going to be pretty damn close. I appreciate it.
All right.
Take care, Robbie. Good stuff. 843. There we go. Trip, you're on the air, my guy. Here we go.
Trip.
Okay. Trip, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well, man. Just having a Friday. What's up?
So I was out of school today, so I normally listen, but I figured I'd call in because of this little snowstorm we're having. But I was just wanting to get your thoughts on Martin. Like, when do you think there needs to be a change? I know you want to fire him, but, like, do you think he should be fired mid-season or wait till the end of the season?
No, I mean, I don't see a whole lot of value in moving mid-season. I mean, unless things just get really out of control, I don't see a lot in firing him mid-season. And I don't know that that's really a common practice in college basketball. So, I mean, I got no issues. I got no issues with him continuing to coach through the year. But, and again, we'd all love to see Martin and this team turn it around, and it starts with winning the next two against Georgia and Vandy and go on a run and push for the tournament. We all want to see that, but feels like the writing's on the wall at this point. That a change that, this season is just sort of headed exactly down the path that every other season goes down. So I just think with that being said, it's time to move on. It's time to move on, but I don't see any benefit to, moving on from him mid-season, if you will. So I think it'll be something after the year. I think they'll have to sit down, like I said, have a really tough conversation. Hey, like, we appreciate what you've done. It's been a fantastic decade. It's, again, we're very appreciative of the Final Four, but, at this point, the program is what it is, and we've it's stale. It needs a change. It needs a shot in the arm. It needs new energy. It needs a new voice. So appreciate it, but we got to move on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
again, I'll say this too. I was going to say this too, not to cut you off, but it's, again, what people need to realize, they take these things so personally because I get it, right? And I said the same thing about Muschamp. People view coaches in this way. They're family. Coaches become family. Frank Martin's like your uncle. The players are like your kids. And Gamecock fans, I know college sports fans especially, but Gamecock fans especially, they don't like when you talk negatively about your family. They don't. They'll come to bat. They'll go to bat. Even if their family sometimes are bad people or do bad things or say stupid things, they'll come to defense for their family. But people have to realize it is nothing personal. Take the personal feelings out of it. This is business. Losing is not good for business. I can attest. I can tell you firsthand. Having a stale, boring, dead program is not good for business for anybody. So it ain't nothing personal to Frank. Nobody's got ill will to Frank. Nobody wishes bad things to happen upon Frank, but it's business. It's business. We got to move on. You're no good for us. We're no good for you. We got to make a change. That's it.
Yeah, and it just sucks because how good the SEC is this year is just stacked. So if we could get some good wins and stack them up on each other, we could have had a hope of the tournament. But it just feels like everybody else is out recruiting us in basketball as well. Like we could never pick up any good 4 or 5 stars, it felt like.
Yeah, the SEC's gotten a lot better.
Opportunities and all that.
The SEC's gotten a lot better. And there's a lot of good coaches, and it feels like everybody's improved. The SEC is no longer, basketball is just sort of a whatever sport, and everybody just does, just a football conference. Like there's good basketball teams in the SEC. So, and again, you said, it sucks. Hey, it sucks. Yeah, breakups are always they're never fun. Breakups are hard, but it's got to be done. What has to be done has to be done.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are you going to the game?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. No doubt. I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. So I'll see you there, but hopefully we get better.
Yeah, I mean that's all you can hope, man. At least let's just go beat Georgia. Let's at least go beat Georgia. We'll start there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll see you Saturday.
So, all right, man. I'll see you at the game. Appreciate you.
All right.
Good stuff. Appreciate you. Here we go. Let's jump to another call.
Call from
Derek. So much for going into a break.
Six.
Derek, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Just having a Friday. Appreciate you. What's going on?
Listen, I just want to talk about what that guy Dalton was talking about. When it comes to our budget for recruiting, how far down are we actually when it comes to a budget in terms of recruiting?
I'd have to. I'm gonna try to look it up right now. And again, this was an old graphic, so I thought it was kind of funny when folks got upset about it or whatever, because I saw this graphic a while ago. Here we go. This comes from 2019. 2019 college football recruiting spending. The top 5, and Georgia leads the way. $3.6 million is what they spend on recruiting. Again, this is as of 2019. But it's Georgia. And what's crazy, Georgia spends $1 million more per year than Alabama, which is wild to think about. But it's Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Clemson at 4, and then Arkansas at 5. A&M at 6. Again, this is 2019 pre-NIL, so these numbers are, you know what I mean? Like, NIL's changed everything.
Right.
But so I saw this a while ago, and somehow a couple months ago, this got brought back up, and, you know, we had some people raising hell about what we're spending. Because you look, we are South Carolina, $931,666. Well, that's not going to make people very happy when you see Kentucky spending more on recruiting than you. You see Minnesota, Utah, Nebraska. I mean, of course, you know, but those numbers are going to irritate people. I get it. Those numbers are going to irritate people, bottom line. So, you know, Ole Miss is at 669,000. Again, these are numbers from 2019. Mississippi State's under $500,000. So that's where this graphic and this article, whatever, that's where this conversation, I guess, really, really started. When you see Clemson spending, at least from this graphic, again, this article, $2.2 million, and we're not even spending $1 million. That I think that's what really gets under people's skin.
That was an excellent call. When I was listening to him, I honestly agree with him. There's an old saying that pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered, and hell, the way I see it, the men's basketball program, regardless if they're top 3, they need to be slaughtered. Baseball, the jury is still out. Because Kingston is coming behind a legend. So we have to give him time. But when it comes to being in the SEC, you said something about a month ago that made so much sense. I don't give a damn about beating Clemson. Yeah, that's a nice thing. But I want to get to the SEC championship where we can actually start to see progress and growth. Instead of, we worrying about the uniforms that we're wearing on a Saturday. We were worried about beating Clemson. Who gives a damn about any of that stuff? I want us to be able to be competitive year in, year out, be in the conversation of with Georgia, Florida. That's what I want to be. And if we're spending less than $1 million on our recruiting, then what the hell are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely makes no sense at all that we should shave some. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing on that end, then guess what? We need to take a little bit off of that and give it to the football program. I feel like right now, I've been an advocate of Shane Beamer actually getting this contract extension. But if we're going to hold off, I believe that when South Carolina brought Shane Beamer in, we're playing with house money. We don't know what we have. I'm just looking at basically what he did with what Muschamp left. Now, year 2, year 3, let's say year 3. If Shane is on the trajectory, we need to lock this dude in. And we need to, I'm not saying we got to give him $10 million, but we need to give him a bigger budget, like Dalton said. Bring in more people that's going to be able to help us, get to the levels that we're trying to get to. I wasn't a big South Carolina women's basketball fan, but hell, I love championships, regardless. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
And if I'm
listen,
like,
Gamecock fans love winning more than anything. I mean, we can all agree with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'd rather look at women's basketball than to pay attention to men's basketball. Why? Because we ain't shit. We just are not. And if you think about Frank Martin, his best two recruits in 10 years have been Thornwell and the other guy, Dozier. That's been his best recruit. We can't even lock down the city of Columbia. I mean, it's crazy. So I really don't care about men's basketball. I will start paying attention to men's baseball to see what that's like, because I just want to win. I want South Carolina to be relevant in all sports. And football is the cash cow. And if we have to shave off from these other programs that ain't doing shit, that's what we need to do. Because I want to be able to sit down on a Saturday and watch 10th ranked South Carolina play such and such and such. I don't want to have to go on these other networks to find out what our scores are or being able to see them. I mean, we're in the SEC. We need to do something about what we're doing instead of just like, oh well, we happy with the 7-6. We happy with an 8-4. Hell, I want to get to the SEC. I want to get to Atlanta more often than not. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
There should be a damn war between South Carolina, Clemson, and Georgia for these damn recruits. There should be a damn war. Not just saying like, oh yeah, I'm happy with 8-4, and we get to the SEC luckily every 5-6 years. That's crazy. We should expect more from the boosters and the administration and say, hey, where they are, we need to be trying to get there because it's a blueprint. This is a blueprint, and I just agree with Dalton. I agree with him about the budget, what we need to do, how we need to shape this thing, and keep moving. Yes, Dawn Staley built her program. She built her program. The question is, with Dawn Staley, she's getting all of these recruits, and I know I'm jumping around. She's getting all these recruits. If Dawn Staley don't win another championship for 5 or 6 years, is she considered a failure? I'll take it off and listen to what you got to say, brother. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great call. Great stuff. I appreciate that. Now, there's a question. There's a question that makes some folks uncomfortable. If Dawn Staley didn't win a title for 5 or 6 years, is she considered a failure? Well, I for one, don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to win it this year. But, yeah, you're recruiting at the number one class in the country every year. You better win. You better win a title. I mean, it's just kind of no excuse. New slogan for Gamecocks men's basketball: we ain't shit. That's a great way to put it, honestly. That is a great way to put it. I mean, who can argue? We ain't shit in men's basketball. We ain't shit. And as Cody Gaskins notes in the TDC Questions channel of the Big Cock Club Discord, note, pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. I agree. Yeah, for sure. We had a call come in. I just missed it, guys. If you'd like to call back in, would love to take your question. Again, phone lines are blowing up, man. It's great. That's why I love, Dalton kind of got it going and everybody gets fired up a little bit. And yeah, I love to hear it, man. Again, the beauty's in the banter, as I always say. The beauty is indeed in the banter. Brian Lattimore says in the TDC Questions channel, the big question mark I have, excuse me, how is Clemson able to spend more than us? That's unacceptable if you want to be the premier college in the state. And Brian, again, I don't disagree, and it was that graphic, and I know Keith has mentioned it a lot. I think Keith's really the one that got the conversation going about it, but that's the one that really, really irks people. It really irks people. It really irks people that, how can Clemson be spending more than double what you spend? Taylor Novinger, thoughts on T-Rob to Alabama? Whatever, man. So be it. Happy for him. Yeah, I saw Derek Mason is leaving Auburn also. So I guess they'll have to retool their coaching staff once again. And I believe it's, Taylor Novinger, by the way. Taylor, you've been asking me, blowing it up about, listen, I'm not saying there's anything, this is completely side note, but a conversation we're having on Twitter. There's nothing wrong with Founders Park. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all. But every other day you're seeing Texas A&M's doing this to their ballpark, Mississippi State's doing this to their ballpark, Florida just got a brand new ballpark. There's nothing wrong with Founders Park. And I'm not saying, oh, well, we need to do this to our ballpark to get back to Omaha. But I am just saying, hey, it's been over a decade. I mean, at some point, you got to continue. It's a keeping up with the Joneses thing. I mean, at some point, and you ask, which shiny toys do you want to add? I'll tell you what I'd like to add. This isn't a shiny toy, but I tell you what I'd like to add. Taylor Novinger, a.k.a., in case you guys didn't know, Gamecocks swag on social media. I'd love to add this. We don't do a great job in recognizing our fantastic history we have at the University of South Carolina and all the great players we've had come through Columbia. I know, hey, I love what we did with the outfield wall, putting all of our regionals, our supers, our national titles. We got the national title banners. That's great. But the fact you can walk into our ballpark and not know folks like Justin Smoke, Jackie Bradley Jr., Whit Merrifield, Kit Balknight, Blake Cooper, Michael Roth. I mean, you wouldn't even know they played there. You go to Clemson. I hate Clemson, but you go to Doug Kingsmore, they've got like these banners hanging down from throughout their concourse of this team that went to a super regional. Dude, we could litter the entire ballpark. Dude, you go to LSU. When I went to the LSU football game, I love what LSU has done outside of they basically have like a Hall of Fame on the outside. Every player that's like ever been named an All-American or All-SEC had a plaque outside of the ballpark. Ray Tanner, my God, I know his number's retired. We have two retired numbers. I mean, I feel like we have so much great tradition in baseball, and we don't really flaunt it enough. You know what I mean? Like, we should be flaunting our tradition when it comes to baseball. And really, I know Phil probably agrees, across all sports, we don't do a great job in kind of flaunting the tradition that we do have, but especially in baseball. So, hey, start there, Novinger. Start there. Let's flex a little bit. Why not? Let's flex a little bit. But, I mean, listen, man, outside of that, you want me to give you a checklist right now of what things to add? I mean, there are bells and whistles you could add to Founders Park. There are ribbon boards. There are new, I mean, I don't know, man, new fixtures, lighting, seating options, even if it's something as simple as concessions, man. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not sitting here like, we got to demand that Founders Park get a facelift, but, I mean, at some point, yeah, you're going to have to do it. I mean, everybody else is doing it, and, again, it is a little bit of a keeping up with the Joneses thing, man. Like, at one time when we opened Founders Park, it was like the best ballpark in all of college baseball. And it's still one of the best. But now everybody's got a dope ballpark, at least in the SEC. Everybody has a great ballpark. So, making little tweaks and enhancements, and it doesn't hurt, man. It doesn't hurt. It's just something you got to continue to do. Look at the dude at Mississippi State. Look at Texas A&M's ballpark. Look at Florida's new park. Look at what these teams are doing, man. It's keeping up with the Joneses in the SEC. Bottom line. And we sort of set the standard. Now we got to, if we need to give it a facelift, why not? Who's it hurt? I'm not complaining. We have a beautiful facility. I mean, I tell people all the time, we are blessed that we get to watch baseball at that facility. That's an incredible facility. So, even Clemson upgraded. Now, granted, they needed it, but, it's all keeping up with the Jones, just like football, right? I mean, would you say the same thing, Taylor? What's wrong with Williams-Brice? Well, I mean, there's a lot of enhancements you can make to Williams-Brice. And we're doing it actively. So it's just something you got to do, man. I know college athletics is crazy. It's crazy to think you got to put together a $50 million facility to get a recruit to come to your school, but that's just where we are, man. That's big time football in the SEC. That's just what you got to do. Yeah, Phil, I'd agree with you, and I've said this many times. The top two statues that are needed right now. Ray Tanner outside Founders Park, given. That's a given because I think about it, it's like, oh, which player could you do? You could do Michael Roth. You could do JBJ. You could do, Whit Merrifield. But to me, Ray Tanner absolutely needs a statue outside of Founders Park because he is the one that literally constructed the South Carolina baseball program and bring it to the level that we all expect. Hey, you know why Mark Kingston has so much heat on him? Because of the freaking standard that Ray Tanner set. of we should be in Omaha every single year. We should be winning national championships. And again, that's a positive. I love that. I love that people demand that. That's great. So Ray Tanner, without a doubt. And then, yeah, Alex English. I don't understand. You know, people say, well, his career at USC was this, and he only won this. He is in the NBA Hall of Fame. What are you talking about? The most decorated scorer of the 80s. What more needs to be said? What more needs to be said? So, yeah. And then, do you want another football statue? I mean, I think a Connor Shaw statue would be legendary. I wouldn't be upset on a Steve Spurrier statue, guys. And I know many people will say, oh, well, what about the way he left? He's the greatest coach in school history. Greatest coach in school history. So, again, are these things that are, you know, game-breaking things that if we put a statue outside the ballpark, you know, we'll start winning more games? No. But, again, I just, especially on the baseball side, you have so much tradition. Let's flaunt it a little bit. I mean, why not? Let's flex it. Anyways, guys, we're going to take one final break. I want to continue to hear from you. This has been an excellent Friday, though, man. Electric phone lines are getting off the hook. I want to continue to hear from you guys. 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let me jump into a text here. I apologize for not getting to this earlier. Derek Mason's leaving Auburn. He's going to Oklahoma State. Brian Harson's the next Will Musk champ. Hope South Carolina women's basketball continues having success for years. South Carolina football's headed in the right direction. I would love to see South Carolina football win the SEC East, SEC title in Atlanta, and the national championship. South Carolina basketball needs a new voice. I agree with all those things. There ain't nobody out there that doesn't want to see us win a title. I promise you. This text came from yesterday. I somehow missed it. Eight baseball. No, never mind. Actually, I did answer that yesterday. Okay. To a couple comments that Phil left, and Courtney as well. Courtney and Phil. So Phil disagrees on the Connor Shaw statue. I mean, that's fine. Courtney says you gotta win a natty to get a statue. That totally fine. Totally fine. But there should be some sort of recognition for a guy like Connor Shaw, who is he not the greatest quarterback in school history? I mean, I would say so. Yes. So whatever you got to do to recognize Mr. Shaw, it should be done. Phil mentions a Ring of Honor type deal. I love that. Just find a way to embrace your successes, your tradition, your great players. I mean, I say this one too, guys. Is it not kind of crazy that you can go to Willie B and go to a game and you would never know that a guy like John Abraham played at the University of South Carolina? This guy's going to be an NFL Hall of Famer. Like, I just, David Barnes has got an interview with Mississippi State's vet school in 2 hours. They have in-state seats for South Carolina students because Clemson's too trash to have a vet school program. One more reason I hate Clem sucks. Love that. And best of luck, David. Best of luck. Best of luck for sure. Again, guys, less than 15 minutes to go here on this Friday as we await the snowstorm of 2022. I say that just for Phil. The snowstorm of 2022. Phil, it's coming. It's coming. I'm going to send Phil a video of the tiny little flakes coming down. Cancel everything. Game tomorrow's got to be pushed back. Cold weather. Got to push it back. By the way, guys, as you already know, 28 days, just 4 Fridays until opening day. Going to be here before you know it. And obviously, yours truly just cannot wait. Absolutely cannot wait. Going to be a blast. So. Phil, be careful with that 1/4 inch of snow you'll get. Phil, we will. We will. Hey, we will. We will. Oh, okay. Muschamp hackers. Good God. Muschamp hackers just infiltrated the chat. Muschamp hackers just infiltrated the freaking live feed. I don't know what just happened. It just went to YouTube out of nowhere, so I apologize. Hopefully you guys can still hear me and see me. I don't know if I just messed that up completely with 10 minutes to go. Okay, you guys can see me because I just checked it. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Muschamp hackers just fighting it here on a Friday. Anyways, great stuff today, man. Unexpected, I would say, electric conversation on a Friday. Electric conversation. But see, that's the beauty of the Daily Crow, is you never know. You never know what the conversation, how it's going to go. Because you guys make the show. That's what truly separates the Daily Crow from any other live show out there, if you will. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Phil says, stay off the road, shut everything down, hide under your beds, eat your milk sandwiches, and kiss your ass goodbye. It's a southern snowstorm. Love that. Phil, you have a way with words, my friend. John Kruger says, speaking of Clem Sucks, Chris, do you have any idea when my Clem Sucks and Yardcock shirts will be shipped? I'd have to check. I would assume over the next couple of days. I'd have to check, my guy. Soon. I mean, it shouldn't be very long. I mean, I guess I could look right now. My guy, John Kruger, when he orders merch, he needs to know when it's going out, boy, I tell you. It should be delivered by January the 31st, John. So I know that's kind of an open time frame. Actually, let's see. Yeah, those shirts are currently being printed, John. So I'm not 110% sure. Lance says, shit, I got to drive through it in the Wrangler. Lance, I imagine you're in that Wrangler with a Busch latte and the cup holder, my guy. Jesse Dunn says, very productive and engaging Daily Crow today. Thanks for the great content today. Y'all stay safe. Yeah, Jesse, stay safe from the snowstorm. Milk sandwiches. That's where Phil gets me. Milk sandwiches. Love that. Enjoy your milk sandwiches. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't buy into the hype, Phil. I'm not a go buy bread and milk guy. Just see, I feel like Phil would be very upset if he found out I was that guy. Like if TSUS was caught in the act at Publix, like stocking up on bread. Like I got like 7 loaves of bread and 4 gallons of milk at the house. I think Phil would be very, very disappointed. Like I think Phil would go as far as like, you know what? Maybe not. With supporting TSUS. Can't support somebody who's doing that. I think that's what Phil would. So, anyways, guys, another great week. I want to thank you. By the way, check out the podcast for sure that dropped today, episode 582, breaking down everything with the game tomorrow. South going to take it on Georgia, 3:30 tip at the CLA. In case you missed it, I've got the Gamecocks getting the W. Again, Georgia's bad. Georgia's really, really bad. I know people are checked out on basketball and that, all is lost. And listen, I'm not saying we're going to have a good year, but I can tell you this. I picked us to go 6-12 in SEC play, and I can guarantee you this was one of the 6. So Georgia stinks. There's no other way to put it. Georgia stinks. You got to win your next 2, man. You got Georgia at home and Vandy at home, who you just beat. You got to win the next 2. I think you will. Again, I don't know, in case you guys didn't know, South Carolina has beaten Georgia in basketball 10 straight. So is that a little scary because Georgia's so due? And, I think we make it 11, though. We just, no matter what happens, death taxes and the Gamecocks beating Georgia in basketball. It doesn't matter how good we are, how bad we are, how good or bad they are. We beat them last year, and we beat the hell out of them. We beat them by like 20 points last year, which was crazy. So, yeah, I think South Carolina will take care of business against Georgia. I got no worries. So, Taylor Nodger says, I was kind of thinking one of the biggest upgrades of Founders Park would be to take down the trees to see the river. Again, and understand this, Taylor. We're nitpicking when we do this, but so is every other team, right? Like we're nitpicking. That's the point. I mean, so. Anyways, about 5 minutes left to go. Let's see. About 5 minutes left to go. Another fantastic week, like I said, guys. I really do appreciate the love and support, man. And you guys continue to rock with us and everything we do, from the podcast, the Daily Crow, the merch I will be throwing up. I think we're going to run a sale, by the way, this weekend. 4 weeks from opening day. Why not run a little sale for all our new baseball merch? Also, our Gilly merch is live on the store. Phil, I'm going to have Noah get in touch with you, by the way. So things are moving on the merch side of things. But, appreciate y'all, man. Seriously, appreciate it. Really excited for opening day. Obviously, baseball, of course, spring football. Right, I mean, before you know it, guys, spring football is going to be here. I was looking at old video from last season of baseball season, and it just put a smile on my face, man. I just can't wait. I can't wait. I love the warm weather. I love baseball. Love the tailgates. Everything, man. It's incredible. It's incredible. So, going to be working on figuring out the baseball tailgate situation this weekend. I really want to get that figured out because, again, we're going to be throwing tailgates, Rowdy Rooster tailgates. At minimum, I'm thinking the Clemson series, of course, the Saturday Texas game. So Going to be a good time, man. Going to be a really, really good time. I mean, I'm literally just thinking about buying a parking spot, just having it. I walk to the games. I live that close, but I just love to have the option each and every single game to park, post up with our flag at minimum, and say, come on by. Rowdy Rooster Tailgate, come on by. So going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. The only thing I hate is they've graveled that parking lot right next to Founders, which I don't understand that move. I really don't. I do not understand that move at all. I don't know. Let's see. Jesse says, how freaking wild will that Texas series be? It's going to be awesome. I mean, that's anytime you have the number one team in the country coming to your place, anytime you've got the number one team in the country coming to your place, and you've got an opportunity to take them down, especially for us last year, getting revenge from last year when you went to Austin and got swept. That'll be electric, man. It's going to be, I mean, those weekends back to back of Clemson and Texas, electric baseball. So what a way to start the season, man. What a way to start the season. So, I mean, you got UNCG to start a Tuesday midweek against Winthrop, George Washington the following weekend. And actually the week of the Clemson series, you go up to Charlotte that Tuesday and play Appalachian State. Then you got Clemson at Founders Friday, the Seager Park game Saturday, at their place Sunday. Then that following week you got Xavier at home on a Tuesday night, and then Texas for 3 games. So, and then you jump into SEC play. So I tell you what, man, the schedule gets going, and it gets going in a big way in a hurry. So I can't wait, man. Again, somebody asking earlier, which series are you most looking forward to? It's kind of hard to pick, man, because there's a lot of good ones. But I mean, the outside of the Clemson series, I think that's a no-brainer. That Texas series really jumps out at you. The first home SEC series, Vandy, that's a huge one. Getting Ole Miss at home is awesome. So there's some fantastic, at Florida to close it out. I think I'm going to actually try to make that trip we might be doing a watch party with Carolina Ale House for that. So, yeah, can't wait, man. It's going to be an absolute blast. So, Darryl Wall Jr. says, man, I believe we beat Georgia too. But, Chris, what if Georgia wins? Does Frank survive to end the season at least? Any chance a move could be made in season? Again, Darryl Wall Jr., I don't know that like when it comes to the culture of college basketball, I don't know how often coaches are getting fired midseason. Would it bother me if they waited till end of season make move? Not really, but I don't disagree with you if you lose to Georgia, man. Things have spun out of control. I mean, you've just lost the team because there's no excuse to lose to Georgia. None. No excuse whatsoever. So at this point, Darryl Wall Jr., the program is just so dead right now. Dude, if they want to make a move on Frank right now, so be it. So be it. I think that Frank, listen, he's been here 10 years. I don't think firing him midseason is really the way to go. Let him at least finish it out. But, yeah, I mean, you need to win tomorrow. There's no question. Again, I'm not going to keep saying must win, but you cannot lose that game. You can't, because you will be a favorite. You're on your home floor. You've lost 3 in a row. Georgia is god-awful. You got to win. And it's to hell with Georgia. Today, tomorrow, and every single freaking day. It's fun to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. It's fun to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's just, you know what? This season might be terrible, but let's just enjoy, hopefully, beating the hell out of Georgia tomorrow. Let's do that. So, either way, guys, we've run into 2 o'clock. Appreciate it, y'all. Hey, thank you so much, man. Another fantastic week. Like I said, with the podcast, the Daily Crow, the content, the merch, everything, man. Truly can't say thank you enough. Stay tuned to all of the content, of course. And, hey, your snow day. Enjoy it. Bundle up. Stay safe. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you at the CLA tomorrow. Go Cox. To hell with Georgia. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on